All right. Happy Tuesday. How's everybody doing? Thanks for tuning in. This is Data to Dashboard, and this week we are taking a look at Back to Viz Basics, which they just released a new challenge, which is going to be really nice. So, this is your first time tuning in. My name's Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja. I've been working in Tableau for quite a few years now, and my goal with this platform is to go from data to dashboard in about an hour. We'll spend the next 60 minutes or so just creating stuff in Tableau, right? So given a prompt, and we'll learn some things. We'll try out a few things. We'll probably fail at a few things, and we'll have some good success with some things. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look at what we're dealing with today. So as I mentioned, we've got Back to Viz Basics, and this week we are looking at designing insightful bands. So big angry numbers, KPIs. So big angry numbers, awesome numbers, big ass numbers. There's lots of different ways that you can replace that A with, but that's really what it is. So we're going to take a look at some. We're looking at employee engagement data, and so this is what we got. So we got all these different things. We got an ID, we got age, gender, department, position, tenure, salary, job satisfaction, engagement score, performance rating, absenteeism rate, promotion in the last year, participation in training sessions. So this is what we'll build. This is what we have, and I think let's just dive right into Tableau here. So I've got this data set already loaded up into Tableau. We'll go ahead and create an extract just to make sure that that's right. I am going to. Looks like Tableau already did some awesome parsing of the data, right? Which is nice. So that'll be good. All right. So let's go ahead and go to sheet 1, and we'll put this extract anywhere because we'll be publishing it to that. So I think what we'll do is we will kind of, if I were to kind of create, let's do this. Let's go to kind of mock this up here. And I will do drafts, new draft. There we go. So what if we do like this will be like a KPI card, and what if we do like, this will be like this will be our number, and then we will, I'm getting too caught up in the kind of design of it, but so we'll have a number, we'll have the label, and there we go, and then we'll do like a a bar chart showing by department, right? Showing kind of a breakout, right? A bar chart breakout. All right, so that's generally how we're going to go about building these KPIs, and we'll build one for each of them. That's kind of what we'll do here. So let's and then what'll happen is this is a sheet, right? So there's going to be 2 sheets per KPI, right? So let's do this. It will be absenteeism number. So that'll just be, maybe we'll do like average. And let's see, let me look at this. Describe, load, absent. Let's go look at the data dictionary, because so the rate of absenteeism as a percentage of total work days. Okay, so the average absenteeism is 10 days, right? So let's do and make it that. And do we need it to be? We probably don't need it. So I'm thinking we don't necessarily need it to be 2 decimal places. I think just 1 decimal place, so 10.3 days, which I think is interesting, right? Again, this is mock data, right? So let's keep that in mind, right? This is mock data. We're not building anything that is actually real data. This is mock data, but now let's do duplicate, and we'll take absenteeism to columns, and we'll do department on rows. So then we have, so that's going to be absent. I mean, that's pretty, let's see, position. Yep. Okay. Managers are taking more. That's interesting. Let's see. What is so the other thing to kind of think about whenever you. All right, let's just. I'm trying to think what would be best here. Does a bar chart make sense, or does like this, where we don't need it 0 in here, and what if we did like something like this? And we'll go back to department. Because, I mean, a KPI by design needs to show, what is the number, right? And then some action, right? Some insight, some action on that, right? Is it, so we've got, okay. Let's do, what is, I wonder if we were to look at, so we've got department. So department and just number of employees, right? So that would be just a count of, so we've got a pretty even distribution of that, which is fine. So, okay. Let me think about this. We don't really have any trending to do. We've got the numbers here. And this is actually now that I think about it, this is actually going to be the average is as a rate, right? So hold on, let me just make sure that this is right here. So whoop, and I want it to be a dimension. So if it's a rate, right? Like the rate of absenteeism as a percentage of total workdays. So I would expect this to be between 0 and 1, right? If it's a rate. So if you know what I mean, like, again, this is mock data, so maybe that one doesn't make sense to necessarily do as what if we do like, let's get this, let's do engagement score, average engagement score. Okay, so this will be, and then what is engagement score? An engagement score between 0 and 1, where 1 indicates maximum engagement. Okay. So then this can be an engagement score of and then this can be average engagement score. There we go. Okay, but should it be, what do you think that, do you think there's a difference between the median and, nope, it's the same. Okay, so that's another thing to kind of keep in mind when you're building out these, is does it make sense to look at the average, or should we also be looking at the median, or one or the other, right? So within this mock data, there's no difference, but I do think for the purposes of like being real, you could kind of do that, right? So maybe it's, what if we do something like edit axis include 0. There we go. And then trying to think if there's, so this is actually engagement. Distro, I'll say that in distro. Okay, so and then what we can do is we can have median here, right? So let's do a median. And we'll change this to median. I think I like average, but it's all right. There we go. Okay. So this is the average, right? So we'll go back here. We'll change this back to the average. We'll just do averages everywhere. Make it easy, right? Okay. So now we can bump up the size here. And then just to further do this, what we could do is we could do employee ID, average, yeah, and we'll do engagement score, and we'll do it as a dimension. There we go. And then change this to a circle. And then we'll jitter this. But then we'll bring it back in. Which again is, it's, as you can see here, the and then we'll put department on color. Or we'll put department here. Again, trying to do this with fake data that's kind of, perfectly distributed, right? Like that's, it's perfectly distributed. There would not be, so then you have, and then, yeah, I don't know if we'll end up using these. So this is engagement strip. So now we just need to, let's go here, let's do average engagement score. Well, let's do this. Let's do measure names here, engagement score, and then we'll do, and actually what I think I'll do is I will create a calculated field. We're going to see how this makes things a lot easier, right? So it's going to be average engagement score, and it's just going to be the average engagement score. And then I'm going to put this as my measure name. And then whenever I replace my measure values here, I'll put measure values here. I will do default properties number format number 2 decimal places. And then we'll bump that back up. What was it? 36. Bump that back up. There we go. And then I'll take measure names and I'll also put it here. So average engagement score. But we don't need it to take up that much space, right? We actually want it to be like half of that size. So, and then what else? We'll clean this up. No tooltip. Because it is what it is, right? And then can we do, what can we do here? Is there anything we can do here to kind of, I think we can do the same thing here, right? So let's do measure names. And you'll see why I'm doing this here in just a second. And department, and then I will replace measure names here. I will edit this axis to be include 0. Click OK, click the average, there it is. Maybe what we'll do is show the header and let's show the min and max values. And we'll do at the top. top center. And let's see what this looks like. If we do the second axis as a line, and then remove that, but we want department to be on detail. There we go. So yeah, we'll do that. And let's remove mark labels here. And now when we do a dual axis and we synchronize and we flip that around, this is all going to make sense here in a minute. So let's drop the size of the line all the way down. We'll make it, do we want it, how black do we want it? I think that looks fine. And the line is the one that has the labels. No. Yeah. So let's do measure values on label. And that will allow me to go in here and add a buffer. There we go. I don't think I need that. There we go. So now you can kind of see, and the reason I can do that is because I can go here, I can kind of start cleaning this up. And now, the reason that this is going to be so much better, let's get rid of all the grid lines, is now whenever I want to change and then for here, let's go ahead and clean this up, right? So yeah, engagement score, operations, right? So now, whenever I want to change so let's duplicate this, Nope, we already did that. But now, maybe the next thing I want to do is job satisfaction. So I'll do average job satisfaction. And that's going to be the average of job satisfaction. And again, I think we'll do 1 decimal place. And we'll call this satisfaction. And now, instead of having to like change everything around and changing text and all that kind of stuff, like I can just go in here and change my measure name filters to average job satisfaction, and then everything updates, right? As opposed to if I did it the other way, I'd have to swap out the value, right? I'd have to swap out the value here, change the aggregation, and then I'd have to go into the text mark, and I'd have to go in here and I'd have to change what the label is, right? So this way, I can now just go much faster. I can just duplicate this. I could even duplicate this calculated field, edit it to say, now we'll do average pref rating. Nope, performance rating. Performance rating. And then now we've got this. Call it that. Right? And this is rating. And then we can just do the same thing here, right? So we'll duplicate this one. This one is job satisfaction. And then edit this to be job performance. And you can see that there are, so that's the, yeah, you can kind of see here that, it's these two departments are right on top of each other, and it can be kind of hard to see that. So we might need to rethink how we're doing that, but maybe it does make sense now that I'm thinking about this to just do it as bars, right? Department, change it to a bar. Automatic, and then bars, right? And then we can get rid of labels. Well, we can still show labels. All automatic. There we go. And then we'll kind of drop the size of the bars down. And then we need to go in here. There we go. So then what we can do, we also need to show the header and add 0 back in, right? Because now that these are bars, right? So we'll do that. And now I can, instead of having to do that for all of the sheets, let's delete these, duplicate, and add back. So engagement, this is job satisfaction. Duplicate, performance rating. There we go. Maybe I will add department to color. Ugh, I don't like that. It's alright. Yeah, I think that's good. But what this is going to do is the way that we're going to set this up in just a little bit is, so I sorted by, actually, I think what we should do is, we should sort department by total number of employees. Field, descending, right? So this is number of employees. Hopefully there's, and then, so let's do, and then what we could do, let's clear the sort. Let's clear this sort, and let's clear this sort. Again, we're trying to make our lives as easy as possible, right? So I'm going to go default properties, sort. Anywhere we find it, I want it to be descending based on, oh, interesting. I can't base it on a field within the default properties. I thought I could. Interesting. Okay, well, we'll do it here then. So field descending on, yep, department sort descending on CSV, department sort descending on CSV. There we go. And so what this is going to allow us to do once we kind of get this, actually, I don't think it needs to be that gray. Let's do, or that dark, right? It can be, what's that, what do we say? What do we say in data visualization? Get it right in black and white, right? So let's do that. Let's get this, let's get it right by, there we go. Let's get it right in black and white, and then if we need to add color, we can. Okay, so what did I do here? I did that. I did that gray, and I did book 11. There we go. That gray. Now we can get rid of these headers. Again, start to clean these. I could have done this all on one sheet, on the first sheet, but then we started moving things around. Show the header. Show the header. We don't need that. Don't need that, right? So now what we can do is now we can go to a dashboard, and first thing you always do when you're doing a dashboard, get rid of the phone layout. And then we can do a horizontal container. I'm going to drop the height of this down. There we go. Drop in a blank. Always drop in 2 blanks. Right? And now, the first thing we need to add is a vertical container. And then we'll add another vertical container and a third vertical container. Now we can get rid of these blanks. And then if we wanted to, let's distribute evenly. And let's do engagement, satisfaction, performance rating. And then engagement, satisfaction, performance rating. We don't need the titles on these. All right, and we don't need the titles on these. But we do need to bump these up a little bit to, what's 100 look like? Okay, maybe we don't need these to be, we don't need the text to be this big, right? So 36, we'll do 24, 14. There's that. What's that look like on the dashboard? Ooh, yeah, there we go. All right, so let's do that here. 24 and 14. And 14. And we need to make this 100. Oop, not 10. 100. And we need to make this 100. All right, here we go. Let's see, what else? What else can we do here? How can we continue to make this better? I think the sizing of these bars needs to be a little bit bigger. I think the label on here can be a little bit smaller. Go. Okay. Now what we could do, let's start to build this up a little bit. Let's add in a text box above all of this. Well, so if we're going to do that, we got to do it the right way. I'm going to do this. I'm going to add a blank in here. Okay. Then I'm going to add a horizontal. And I'll put it there. And I'll put that. I do have, okay, so, okay, yeah. I need to put a blank in here. And let's, oh yeah. Okay, alright, either way. Let's go put it right there. And let's put that there. Now we can get rid of this guy. We can go back to this. And we can do, whoop. There we go. And then, so now what we can do is we can do a text box here. And we'll say overall engagement, overall organizational census. I'll just call it the organizational census. And we'll call it, it's 2024 of March. We put out the survey in December. We got all the feedback and results back in January, and we've been crunching the numbers. And we have a deadline to get this out in Q1 of 24. So that's why we're that's what this dashboard is going to be. Is going to be the and we need to make this bigger. I've already got 24 and 14, so then this will have to be bigger. And then, does it need to be that? It probably doesn't need to be that black. And then we'll put a little subheading, and it will be like 16. And we'll say it doesn't need to be semi-bold. It can be regular. This dashboard analyzes organizational and department analyzes key metrics across the organization and department level. Let's see. What else can we add to this? Departments are sorted by total by employee count. let's get rid of this. And what are we going to do now? Let's do... I mean, what does... Yeah, that's starting to get a little too... I do think we need to drop the opacity of this back down to 29. Yeah. Because again, we just want it to be there. We don't want it to necessarily be in the way. Edit. There we go. There we go. Let's see. So now let's add a little bit of border around these. So let's go here. There we go. Let's add that. But we want this. And we want that. Maybe we want 20. There we go. And then, again, we're just trying to background white, so we want everything to be white within that block. And we want about 10 pixels of padding there. White and 10 pixels of padding there. And white and 10 pixels of padding here. Alright, so now you can kind of start to see how you can, how we're putting this, 20, no, 10, there we go. And I've already got 20 here, plus 10 here, so we actually want to take this in to 0, and we want this guy to be brought into 0. So now we have 20 pixels of padding, 20 pixels of padding around the margins and 20 pixels of padding in the gutters, right? Between everything. What else can we do here? Let's just say we had, you know, trying to think if there's any other way that we could add in this engagement, but I'm thinking it's pretty good. We've got 500. Let's do that, but now let's add this back in, but then we'll take this horizontal container and we'll bring it back up here. And we'll make the height of this like 500. And I don't think we need department. I don't think we need color here. That's because we haven't added it, right? And I think 5 colors to me is just too much. We don't need this. And what else could we do here? Let's give this a name. And we'll say That's engagement score. So we need to create some sort of a, okay, click OK. Well, I need to go back in here because I've misspelled rename. There we go. That was going to bug me the whole time. All right. And then we'll come in here and say click on a KPI above to see the employee level distribution across departments. So we'll click OK there. I don't think it needs to be 15. We could probably do, that's probably too much, 12. There we go. So then what we can do, first off, I want to add a highlight action. So we'll do dashboard actions, highlight action on hover when we do the any of the numbers. I want to highlight, I want to highlight anything else, right? So this is the department highlight. So, oh, dashboard actions on hover, yeah, on hover. When I just, oh, not the number, the yeah, distributions. Not the numbers, the distributions. And we don't want the numbers to highlight because the numbers don't have department. Yes, that's the way that I want it. Okay. So now, if we do this, so let's click OK. And now, when we hover on this, you can see that it's highlighting, right? It's going to highlight based on that, right? And then if you do it back here, did I not do it here? I didn't add it there. Interesting. Actions. On, yep, engagement strip. So then we'll go down here to selected fields and we'll have to do department. Click OK, and there we go, right? So now you've got a little bit of interactivity there, which is nice. So now let's add in the the dynamic. So this will be, so we'll call this first. This is going to be a string field, and it's going to be average engagement score. Click OK. And we need to, I need to set my engagement score here, and then I need to do my measure values here. There we go. Nice. All right. So now what I'm going to do, and this is why parameter actions are pretty awesome. So this is good. Let's rename it to something good. This is KPI choice. And then how do we, oh yeah, it's not this way, it's this, right? So this is where, I mean, you have the ability to do some cool things, but it is, you can't use measure names and measure values in calculated fields or filters, so we've got to create a dynamic metric selection measure, which is kind of backwards, but whatever. So this is going to be the strip plot metric. This is the strip metric, and it's going to be case KPI choice when average engagement score, then average engagement score when when average job satisfaction, then what? Then average job satisfaction. And for the sake of this, and when average performance rating, then average performance rating, and okay, and then we'll number format this, number 1 decimal place, and then we'll put this here, and it's wrong. Let's see, because yeah, I added a period there. There we go. Okay, so some pretty cool things going on here, right? So we've got a parameter that's going to read the measure name that's selected, the selected measure name, which is what we did here, right? So it's going to input whatever we select here. So actually, what we also need to do now is we need to do, well, it doesn't matter, I guess. Let's do it anyway. All right, select. This will be. I'm just going to do true here. Put it on each of these. You'll see why in a minute. All right, so now we'll go back. First thing we need, we've already got our highlighting working, which is great. But now I need to edit this, and thanks to a new release in Tableau, you can now dynamically change the label based on a parameter selection. So I'll just input the KPI choice here, and you can see it's the average engagement score. Now I'll go back here to the dashboard. I'll create a new action. This is going to be change parameter action. And it's going to be on the, this is where we're going to do the numbers, right? So on every number, all right, so engagement rating, the target is KPI choice. The source field is measure names. And we'll just keep the current value on select. So this is KPI choice. Click OK, click OK. And now, so it's on engagement score. So when I select that, you can see, right? So I don't really like those strip plots there because it's just kind of a random distribution, right? But it's okay. You get the idea, right? Yeah, because these are ratings, so it's, you don't have in between, right? So it's either going to be, it's going to be on the integer. And oh yeah, I need to sort this one too. So department is sorted descending by field, and it's CSV. There we go. But so now if you go here, right, and we could change these out, right? We could add more. We could change them out. We could do a lot of different things here. But one thing to kind of line things up is we need to remove the padding on this sheet so that the white lines kind of match up together. Organizational Census 2023. So now you can see kind of what the averages are. And, you know, what I might do here, if I were to continue doing this, is I would change the chart type for these two measures to be bar charts to show the number of employees who are rated at 5, number of employees that were rated at 4, 3, 2, 1, right? That would probably be what I would change. You guys want to see it? I'm kind of running out of time, but that would essentially be, well, it would be this. All right, so let's duplicate this. And let's change this to a bar. And flip it. And we want this to actually be not the strip metric. We want this to be, well, we want this to be what? Yeah, we want this to be, yeah, we want this to be strip metric, but we don't want it aggregated. What do we want it at? Because if I do this, this is just the same thing as what we were just, that's the same thing as the distribution. What I want is for each department, I want the, oh yeah, it would be, and then my row would be my job satisfaction as a, not that one, it would be job satisfaction as this, but it would be a dimension. There we go, that's what I wanted. And we'll do this as discrete. We'll do this, that's what I wanted. This one is discrete, there we go. And entire view. And then this would be engagement score bin, right? Engagement bin. Duplicate. Performance rating. Dimension discrete. Performance bin. Right? And then I'd probably do just fit width instead. Those bars look crazy. Okay. And then from here, what we can do, well, I also need to create a calculated field. KPI choice equal average engage satisfaction, yeah, average satisfaction average job satisfaction. And this is rename show sat. All right, let's just make sure this is, and this is engage, this is satisfaction bin engagement. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so now I need to create a duplicate of this and edit, and this will be average performance rating. Show perf. That one, and then engagement is not going to be this one. It's going to be that, but, and then we'll do engagement, so we'll duplicate this, and we'll do average, what are we calling it? Average engagement score. Average engage. Okay. So now I'm going to go back to the dashboard. I'm going to put a horizontal below here. I'm going to put this guy in here. I'm gonna put my other distros in here, my other bins in here, like that, and like this. And now I will edit the height of this to be not that 60, 600. Standard on this one. Well, no, it is fit width, but I will this is going to look a lot better once I let's go one there and one there. There we go. Okay. Get rid of this. Oh, we'll keep it there. Okay. So now what I need to do is I need to do some dynamic zone visibility. So this is performance. So this is show perf. This one is satisfaction, so we're going to do just show sat. It goes away. This one is engagement. Show engage. It goes away. Right? And then we'll edit this. Employee count distribution across departments. So this is performance. There we go. And now we'll click on job satisfaction and we get this one. So let's job satisfaction shows employee counts. And then when we get engagement score, we get our strip plot again. So there you go. What else? I think this could probably be smaller. There we go. 500. That way it gives more room for our bar charts here. There we go. So we created some KPIs. It's 1:15. Created some KPIs. We I think that's about 60 minutes or so. Created some good KPIs, and then we created some good level of drill down, some double click throughs, parameter actions, dynamic zone visibility, multiple sheets, right, where it makes sense. Because then you can be like, okay, So then you can see here, right? Okay, I can see why it makes sense that marketing had a lower than average score, because look at how much, look at how many 1s and 2 ratings they had, right? Not as much as the others, right? So I think that's kind of a nice way to kind of look at it, right? And then again, marketing had, kind of an inverted bell curve, right? So they've got lots of 1s and 2s and 4s and 5s, but not as many 3s, right? So it kind of evens out. So yeah, there we go. This was a fun dashboard to build. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll get this up on the on my Tableau public site so you can take a look at it. But again, having some fun with KPIs and census survey data. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. We'll do this again next week. Next week will actually be Makeover Monday. So we'll do the exact same process. I'll build something from scratch. Again, as you can see, I had no idea what I was going to build when I first started this an hour ago, and then we just kind of walked our way through the data, through some different charts, learned a few things. This was a lot of fun. So thank you so much for watching. My name is Sean Miller, Hipster Viz Ninja. Like the sign says, we are data people. Go forth and viz.